Tuesday on the Crazy Picker Life. We're going to get a few orders packed and get on the road. Hopefully do some listing today. I've got old and ugly stuff I need to list and get out of here on the Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Good afternoon, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. Dealer here with the Crazy Picker Life Tuesday edition. It is afternoon. I didn't blow off the morning, but I did all my other stuff at home. I'm in about 2 o'clock here to get a few orders wrapped up. I'm going to have to pick and choose which ones to get out now and then which ones to pack a little bit later. Tonight, I'm going to see if there's any that have to get out and have to get where they're going before the holidays. I know one of the test strips that I listed last night flipped and sold, so I'll probably try to get that out. Somebody might be tight on their test strips, and then a few other orders came in. Not too many, but enough to keep me moving. Other than that, I'll probably show you some of those. Other than that, I've got to get off to the post office. It's almost 50 degrees here today, as we had thought a few days ago. It feels pretty good. Sloppy on the ground. Gonna get a 2-mile run in with my boys and back to school with them. Get their quarter wrapped up. Then we'll be back in the office later. We got a snack run to do before supper. Once a week, big snack run. Wheeler and I go out and buy up the snacks, and then it'll be packing and listing tonight. I'll show you what I list. Okay, somebody bought the mismatched test strips. They had a little better dates. Like I thought they would flip for $39.99 free shipping. Okay, so here's Axis and Allies Milton Bradley game. Let's see, made in China, made in USA. I don't know what year this is. It's not the newest issue. It's probably not the oldest issue. We went through and painstakingly checked that all the pieces were there. There's a lot of pieces in there. It sold for $54.16 plus $20 shipping. So somebody wants this pretty bad. I'm going to box that up and ship that out of here. Alrighty, back to a few camera items before I get down to the post office here. This is an Argo Flex, nice one in a nice case. Sold for $51.45. Shipped. Let's get it out of here. Okay, so here's a little Kodak, call it lens hood shade, $12. And 45 cents going overseas, shipping and handling $22.75. That might be a little steep. I may have to refund a little of that. Sometimes we put our finger on the scale when we initially weigh things. And Wheeler try to figure out what happened to one of our screens here. So we can't find the right one.
Well, assuming it's 5 here, I'm going to double check against the pictures because we have 1, 2, and 3 listed, and then we don't have a 5 listed, so it's got to be this one.
So I either sent the wrong one or it got double numbered or something.
Well, it's one ahead, so show that. This one looks different.
Well, anyway, you'll figure that out. So every day when Wheeler lists stuff, I take his items, this pile here, and I put them out here in places that we can find them, hopefully. Alright, I've got to pack this thing up, this lens hood, and then see what's up with this Hasselblad screen with Wheeler. Okay, another Hasselblad screen. Looks like we got that sorted out. This one sold for $18.58. Shipped. Oh no. My MacBook said it's 3 o'clock. That means I'm running tight. I got to get down there. So I had to go to a third tote. Got that big game boxed up. That's a pretty good day's work from Monday midday till now. Of course, a bunch of that was Wheeler's computer dump. So I guess I guess he's challenged himself to list 50 items today. Is that what it is? 50 items?
50 items.
So you got to get some coffee going.
Yep. So I'm doing black and crazy.
50 accessory items?
Yeah. It's all different, oddball, whatever, but yeah.
So you're going to have to get on it.
Watch the video on my channel. It's going to be a one take, so I'll be interested to see how that turns out, actually.
So you're actually taping the experience?
Yep, and I'm taping it like where you press the pause button in between, so I'm not sure how it's going to all clip out, but I guess it'll be fine. Hopefully it'll be on one thing. Like
The video is The video is secondary to the 50 listings, and then what are you have a reward for that, you said?
MacBook Pro.
He's going to get himself a MacBook Pro, I guess, so we'll have to talk more about that with him later. And he wants a better one than I'm willing to provide for the business, so the business is picking up a bunch of it, but he's going to pick up some of it too. He's going to mostly use it for editing videos. He has another computer set up that he uses for listing, so it'll be his on-the-go powerhouse computer, and it'll have a little crossover between his own personal video making and picture editing and business on the go. All right, speaking about on the go, I'm gonna go. Okay, I noticed one more snuck itself in. This is a Nova Flex macro bellows thing that expands like an accordion and allows you to take small pictures of things. It's a branded one, Nova Flex, Germany made. 3638 shipped. I'll add that to the pile and get out of here. Okay, run completed, afternoon completed, school completed. Are you still taking a health test today?
Probably not.
You ready for it tomorrow?
Yep, be ready for it early tomorrow.
Came to pick up Summer Wheeler. He always thinks it's summer.
Well, it's actually very warm out today, and I was like 47, or it was.
What are you doing with your neck?
I don't know, just random head gyrations.
Random head gyrations.
Normal, you know?
Normal. How's the listing going?
23 listings, which is pretty good.
23, okay. So we're going on a snack run. About once a week we go do a snack run for the office. We pick up coffee, beer, whatever else we need.
More coffee, I need sugar. I almost forgot about those two.
Yeah, so we get all that stuff. If we have UPS, we'll do that too. If we take too long, we miss supper, so we got to get going. This is what we do. So hardcore listing and all that takes
buying,
hardcore snacks, right?
Oh yeah, I got some crazy.
Got my mango beer. There's what I'm looking for. There we go.
Yeah.
So we'll maybe give you a shot of the fridge there when we get back, right? All right, so I'm sporting my running gear, which is a mishmash of outdoor action wear. I did do two miles today, felt pretty good. I've got this in my face. This is my sit-up mat that I have to slide over to put my feet under here. Been trying to get my fat tummy going back to normal, so my wife lays off on me a little bit. I used to be cut, you know, I used to have this 6-pack. Now I've got more like a probably 30-pack under the gut. Anyhow, we shop separate from my wife. My wife does most of the household shopping. About half of this, or maybe a little less, is going to go home. And that's just some of the things that Wheeler likes different than what Lon will shop for him. Start putting it away.
Gotta do it on the blog.
Well, I don't know. I'll probably take a break here, but we spend a lot of time here, and so we don't really skimp on snacks. So I don't know if this is typical. We had a coupon for $14 free if we spent $140, and
It actually seemed late for me, but then I had to add on some stuff because they're like, oh, we're not gonna make it, all right? Because I noticed they want to buy barely anything.
my battery's going, so I better hold off here and get the last shot. Got the Mango Ballast Point dedicated to the Craft 6-pack. Got that. I've almost bought the whole store out of that.
Yeah, one 6-pack, now you see another one.
Yeah, I already told them I have a 30-pack.
That's what I'm saying. What do you call it? The sit-up
we still got some DiGiorno's, and we got some new. Did you buy more coffee?
Yeah.
You got to grind some of the stuff that we have.
That's like the one. It's different than the other ones you get.
Yeah, there's my other pizzas, and I bought these Yeah, we got a mix of stuff. I bring a lot of vegetables home. I make a lot of smoothies and shakes at home. This is more of our fun food and away from home stuff. I try to eat 80-20 rule, 80% good. That's an organic pizza.
And 80% bad, right?
80% good, 20% bad.
80% good, 80% bad.
These shelled pistachios are awesome. I like those. And then this is my standby if I really need to be punched.
Punched.
Rockstar, that's a good one. And then these were on sale. I had to get some of those, even though we make coffee. These are real easy to grab if you need one. And you gotta have something.
The muffins for here.
Oh, I got an Oswalda. Hey, I got another one of those.
Muffins for here.
Yeah, some muffins. Ooh, yeah. Cream cheese muffins. Where's my other drink?
I don't know. Is there another one you need?
I don't know. I thought I had two.
The other one.
Should be another one. Probably snagged it. Well, that's all the rest of the stuff. We either got a pie for this weekend too. All right. Well, that's about it. Oh, there it is. You had one blueberry monster and a strawberry monster. You must have put it in there. Looks like we're pretty stocked. All right, we'll be back after supper. Oh yeah, back in the office. And just when you think all you can do is list, you got to pack. Well, I want to play pack and list. Pack and list. So to start out with, we'll pack in order. I got to get a battery change here, and then I'll list an item. Pack an item, list an item. Pack an item, list an item, till I get bored. Okay, a bunch of camera stuff first. People are getting their gear on. People have off of work this week, next week, so a lot of people are spending some time hunting for some stuff. Here's adapters and a lens hood, both to the same person. One for $19.19, the other for $20.24. Shipped. Ship it out. Okay, item number one I'm listing tonight are these binoculars. They have a nice tripod mount. They don't have back caps. Dakota Rama, not familiar with that brand. 7x50, extra wide angle. They appear to be in good shape, so whatever. They're not a high-end one. They're not a low-end one. I'm going to list them for $29.99 plus shipping. Oh, here's a nice little Soligar 135 millimeter lens. I guess it can mount to an Argus brick. All checked out. Sold and shipped. $35.43. Okay, listing two is this Tascam CDX 1500. Not a huge track record on this. Appears to be some sort of a dual setup. It's a rack mount. I don't have anything to test this thing with. I'm not worried about that. I bought it right. I'll sell it as untested but guaranteed to work. So hopefully somebody can just plug this in and use it. If not, they can send it back to me. I don't see any serial number on it. So I'll have to make sure to, if I do ever get something like this back, what I do is I look at the pictures closely, and you can tell if somebody sent you back their broken unit, which happens occasionally with camera stuff. People will send you back their broken one and keep the other one and say it didn't work. But if you look closely at pictures, you can dispute it because there's always scratches in certain places. You can get real detailed on it with good pictures, so no big deal. I don't remember what I paid for this. I bundled this with a bunch of other stuff, Star Wars models and a bunch of other stuff. I'll list it at $100 plus shipping. Okay, so here's different sizes of these Bell & Howell tri-lens type A filters for a movie camera. I don't know if I can get this out of here. Yeah, it's all wrapped in there. It's like a triangle looking lens. Let's see here. We can do it here. There we go. So it looks kind of like triangle with rounded corners. These all sold to the same person. Come on, focus. $10, $14, and $11. Let's ship them all.
All the worst accessories for other cameras because the thing is, these are bad accessories. They're not worth a lot because it's from the film era. And
All right.
not enough people.
All right, now you're on camera.
Era.
Say it.
Oh, Hasselblad step-up ring, $70, and like Hasselblad polarizer. So camera accessories that don't go for a lot because they're for film only. Hasselblad is basically film only. So
Hasselblad's a different level of camera.
Yep, that's the deal. They have some common stuff, but for the most part, the rare stuff is pretty rare.
There you go. Okay, so I was just getting ready to talk about this. So this is a Bell, Western Bell, some kind of Bell telephone booth topper. I was told this thing worked, so I'm plugged in. I don't see any switches on it. I'm going to have to take it apart and make it work back in a flash. I'm not sure why they didn't have a bulb in there, but I've got a bunch of these 18-inch bulbs, so we just slid one down in there, tricked it into there, and works just fine. I'm going to button it up, take pictures, and list it. I'm not sure what I'm going to list this thing for yet. I'll have to look again. When I initially looked, there's just not a lot of track record. I think one went for, it was listed almost at 200 and went for best offer. I'll have this listed at least 200 plus shipping, maybe 229, 99 plus shipping, just to give a little leeway when I run a 13% off sale, which I do quite often, just to stimulate buying. So just to give you another look at it, it looks like that. It had a nice light bar on the bottom that I guess probably lit up the phone booth. You could see it from a distance, two-sided. Nice piece. Paid $160 for that and a bunch of other stuff. There's a little Panasonic PVGS80 mini DV tape camera, movie camera, with a few accessories like batteries, charger. Sold for $119.99. Alright, so apparently I listed those binoculars a little bit too low. They sold right away. I had a question on it, and then I answered that question, and 1 second later somebody else bought them. So apparently, sometimes I do sell things a little bit too low. But when things sell fast, if I bought them right, I just say, hey, there's money, and we just move on. So I'll be packing those soon, I bet. Here's a Radio Shack digital sound level meter. Catalog 332055. I tested this out with a 9-volt. It appears to work. It's got the case, instructions, and manual. I'll list this at $39.99 plus shipping. There it is, the Nike Black Mamba Kobe Bryant poster, vinyl, big and long. Looks a little like that. Not exactly sure how I'm going to ship that. It's got his Nike Zoom shoe on it. I don't know what era exactly that's from. Sold for $21.25 plus 18 shipping. Let's get that thing out of here. It's a Foot Locker poster. Alright, I'm not going to bore you too much with my last listing. These are Lancets, different versions, Microlet, EcuCheck Soft Clicks, Freestyle. I'm going to list these as one lot, reasonable just to move them out. They'll do okay. I pay $2 a box and they'll do alright, but I buy them from people along with some test strips just as a courtesy. Okay, what else do we got? Okay, I did tell you that I sold these binoculars, $30, $29.99 plus shipping. I'm going to get those packed up here. I've got some more test strips that sold from that lot I listed last night. I think that's going to be it for tonight. I'm mostly done with my money sheet that I'm going to work on and sit down with Lon and see if that makes sense to her. And I was looking at Airbnb site and app on my phone. Boy, there's a lot of rental houses across the nation that look really cool places to go. I think this thing's going to come together. We've been talking how we're going to handle vehicles. We've been talking some of the logistics. We've been talking about downsizing. This plan is in motion. It's going to take a while to get the plan laid and in motion. Obviously, I said that we're not leaving for a while, but it'll be interesting to watch how this all unfurls. We're not going to stop buying and selling. That is the engine that feeds this whole dream. And so we may change what we buy and sell a little bit. I'm going to try to concentrate on better items, less items, and smaller items, which about half our stuff fits at. So that's what's going to happen. Let's sit with Wheeler for a minute here. Now, Wheeler does his own channel. My link is in the About section of the video, or the meat section of the video. We also list our IDs there if you want to check our items out. Check what we sold.
Ugh.
Wheeler has hit his 50 items.
50 items. I just took a sticker of this one. Must be honest.
Oh,
That's number 50 right there.
there's number 50. Yeah, your table over there is looking a little cleaner.
Yep, that was the goal today.
Is there any other good stuff over there, or is it all?
Nope, I picked random stuff here. This is just small percentile.
What's the average
So-
value of these 50 items? 20, 30
30.
bucks? Yeah.
Yeah, at least. We're at 30.
There's some really good stuff in there.
There is, yeah.
We got to find some more good accessory lots this summer.
Goes out.
Oh, yeah. So what are those chargers that came in today? What do they go to?
Let's go to these cameras over here.
Couple cameras. Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
we're keeping up with that. I like it when we order chargers and keep stuff moving. I know there's at least one more pretty good go around of movie cameras and stuff in the back.
Yeah. There's another right spot here.
Yeah, you
Move it.
almost need a spot on the floor, right?
Well, it was right here before, so just moved it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little later tonight, and it's already 10:30 or whatever, and I've got some things to wrap up. We're going to talk a little bit later tonight about getting you a new computer.
Yes.
And you're not going to stop using your old computer for listing. What's that monitor you use there, and what's your...
It's a 34-inch 4K LG. It's the UM95 by LG. It's a fancy...
You can have like
Lighting
three windows
You
wide.
can have unlimited there. The thing is, with my computer, the funny thing is, I'm starting to run into some limitations with this computer. The little Chrome box thing, I updated the RAM when I first got it. But with all these windows open, it does get a little bit slow at some point. So it's getting kind of I think it's Google's issue too. I need to go and update it or
Legs
something.
and jogs a little bit.
Sort of. I think it might be more software than hardware though.
Well, as time goes on, websites update,
Might need to update my computer.
and technology moves on.
Yep.
So
So I've never had a single crash with this for like 3 years in my Chromebook that I have before.
Right.
I have my laptop. But just recently, within the last month, I've been having a couple crashes, like one every couple days or something, which is kind of weird. It was a restore all page, and then once it crashes,
Sure.
start right back up. It takes no time, but it's still annoying.
that's not too bad of a setup. So
No,
we're going to have to decide
especially
what
it's
we...
the best value for money setup I've ever made.
We're going to have to decide what we can bring on the road and what we can't bring on the road.
Yep.
One of the downsides of the road that I see is we're going to have to try to select places that have reasonable internet.
That's one thing I was thinking about yesterday. Yeah, absolutely.
With our family
It's
of
gonna be a big deal.
With our family of 8, we use a lot of internet, first of all, and second of all, our business is fairly intensive. We can always upload videos at the library or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's true. Big
So-
cities, well, is at some place that has claimed to be fast internet.
Yeah,
Coffee shops and stuff are known for it.
I think half the places we
Advertise.
stay won't be a problem,
Yeah.
and we'll be able to be pretty selective. And by the rate at which smartphones, cell phones, whatever are coming on, we should be able to get a hotspot set
Yeah.
up.
That's true.
Whatever it takes. But
Yep.
we're pretty babied now because we have 100 megabyte, and for a
It's
long
130, isn't it?
it's 100 down and 30 up.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah,
So-
so it's not
so-
100 linear, but it's pretty good.
Well, we could get 100 linear. It just
Oh,
would
yeah, it'd
be
be
more. I'm not sure. Maybe we do have 100.
I don't think so.
I thought I got the top.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Forget.
Doesn't matter. It's fast.
It's
Super fast.
super fast.
Does what we need it to do. But
Yep.
now when we go home with the home internet, that's like it's like a dog, you know. It's terrible.
Beyond laughable. It's like 1 megabyte per second up.
Yeah, so we're kind of babied with that.
Yeah.
All right, so the computer we're looking at getting you is a MacBook Pro, or have you sorted out new, old, otherwise?
Well, I'm definitely getting a new one, and I'm thinking about compromising on the GPU slash whatever, because it's all optimized and stuff. You'd figure, because the one thing I was thinking is there's a 2 gigabyte versus a 4 gigabyte option, which I won't get into the details, but basically with 4 gigabytes you can run fancy monitors, but will I ever need that? Not really.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I think it'll be fine with it. It'll be fine.
Well, it'll be so much better than what
Resale value will be just fine and whatever. It's not a big
so
deal.
much better than what you've had.
Exactly. Yep.
But you were thinking of either getting the brand new cutting edge one with the, what bar is that thing called?
Touch bar.
Touch bar, and then that's got some issues because it's so new that some of the things on there don't match all the old stuff.
Well, what I did figure out though is it's not exactly Apple proprietary. They're at least smart with it. They went to USB Type-C, which my phone actually uses, which is kind of funny. My phone is like one of the first phones in the world to use USB Type-C.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess it's more, you can get adapters a lot easier than I would have thought, because a lot of the China manufacturers have already picked up on
Yeah.
this is a thing.
So it's not a
It's
dead.
used in Windows too. It's not
a dead end.
Yeah, it's more so of a Windows standard than a Mac thing. They just
Yeah.
kind of adapted it.
I've had my Mac Pro now for, I don't know, 4 months, 5
Maybe
months,
it's a 6, but I don't know.
and
Yeah.
I just missed the new one, and probably okay, probably not a big deal.
Yeah.
Mine hooks into whatever it hooks in. I like it.
Yep.
It was expensive, but I switched over. I switched over to Apple products probably 5 years ago,
Yeah.
4 years ago.
I had a 2012 iMac, so.
I had been using Windows stuff since Windows 3.1, and before that even came out, when they had floppy disks.
Yeah.
Before the hard 3.5 discs. I remember 5 1/4 discs.
Yeah.
And, before that it was Commodore 64, and before that it was Sinclair 1000.
Yeah.
Before that it was TSR 80s, and I don't go much farther back than that, but I remember all that old stuff. So I got sick of Windows crashing.
Yeah.
I got sick of compatibility. I got sick of screwing around with stuff. And the Apple is more expensive on the front end, but I've been very glad after I learned how to use it. I'm glad that I switched.
And lower end hardware wise, but more optimized is what I'm kind of figuring it out through that. Like the hardware supposedly, okay, you can build a Windows thing for $1,000, they'll do the same thing. Whatever.
It's streamlined.
It is. And one thing I was gonna say, like have been previously and still recently a little bit, like really into the Windows gaming scene, like the people who build computers and have this whole thing, like Linus Tech Tips. I'm sure people have heard of him, millions of subscribers, computer guy. So that's my thing in the Windows. I just like the aspects of it. It's super expensive though. It's just all of it.
So we'll get that sorted out. So if you want all this tech stuff, you got to go over to Wheeler's channel here. He likes to talk tech all day.
We'll see if I do any videos on it. I'll definitely do unboxing on my new MacBook Pro when I get it.
Just your style is more tech.
It is, definitely.
Specification oriented.
Modern person.
Well, no, I mean it's funny because my background's actually engineering. You could easily be more technical than I am. I don't even want to be technical.
Yeah.
I was a reluctant engineer.
Yeah. No, the funny thing is I like being technical, but I'm really bad at it. I built that one computer and it was a complete failure. My opinion, those things are supposed to be simple. I'm just not that. I'm not mechanically inclined, but I'm very interested in the mental version.
There's a slight disconnect, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to end this. I'll be back.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's going to be it. I'm going to do a couple more packing items here. I'm starting to wind down energy-wise here. Whew. I'm going to list those test strip land sets, get this video uploaded, try to get Wheeler on track and figure out how we're going to run this computer through the business a little bit with the money end of it, figure out how to get that thing ordered. We don't really want it to arrive when we're on vacation, so we'll have to figure out what we're going to do there. You don't want something sitting out in the cold, especially if it's a couple $1,000s. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We appreciate your comments. I'm reading them all. I am going to sit down and answer some of them again fairly soon, but it is a busy week. All weeks are busy for me. It's an extra busy week. We're trying to get wrapped up for the year here in the business. It's the end of the school quarter, so I've got lots of papers to shuffle, grade, help the kids study, going a little zany with all that. We've got other projects going on always, so appreciate the thumbs up, appreciate you subscribing, and welcome again to all new subscribers. I'll give you one more thing. There was a comment in there, a couple comments about beer mile, that kind of thing. If you don't know what the beer mile is, you can look back. Dealer runs the beer mile. It's a funny thing. My goal this spring or summer is to, I know some people hate this when I talk about it, and some people are neutral, and some people find it interesting. I want to break the 10-minute beer mile. You'll have to see, I just missed it in my first attempt this last fall. Okay, it's too cold for beer miles still, but I'm out there training, at least on the running end. Pick well, list often. Dealer out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer production.